Hey guys, good morning. I don't even know. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Yesterday was a Tuesday that felt like a Monday. And today's a Wednesday that may feel like a Monday. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, I didn't check in with you guys last week, but a couple things. I keep forgetting to mention Soda Swap. So we are doing Soda Swap for the next 2 weeks. We started Monday. So today should be day 3 of Soda Swap. And basically what we're doing is we're going to try and kick the can. We're trying to get rid of the diet soft drinks. And yeah, because we talked about that before. There's so many ingredients that can cause problems for people in terms of like hunger and stalling weight loss and things like that. And it's really interesting because this morning, the dogs were driving me crazy. And so I put on this video, dogs being dogs, clearing out the house and other stuffs. So it's really interesting. So the dogs. Hey, Bonnie, good morning. Oh, you're walking and listening. That's a great idea. It's beautiful here. We've had cooler temperatures. It's not so humid. We had reached that point where it was so humid. I didn't want to be out on the porch in the morning. But anyway, so the dogs, they're like watching. You can see Winston, maybe not Banjo, but the dogs are over there like watching. They can see the road from that little perch and they'll bark. But they were driving me berserk, like barking this morning. And I was trying to do stuff and like I was even getting a headache. Oh, good morning, Judy. Good for you. Judy has lost 50 pounds. I'm going to tell everybody, Judy. And she says 2 days now without diet soft drink, diet pop. She's saying diet pop. She's in Michigan. I don't say pop here. I say diet soft drinks or diet soda. Anyway, I'm laughing because of that regional difference. But this morning, the dogs were driving me berserk. They were barking. I stopped what I was doing. I was trying to clean out bathroom cabinet. And this was like 6:30, 7 a.m. I finally stopped what I was doing. I finished up part of it and stopped what I was doing and went to feed them because I was like, these dogs are driving me nuts. I've got to feed them. And what's funny is, I started thinking about it as I was feeding them. I'm like, they're just being dogs. They're dogs being dogs. Dogs bark. Like they can't talk. That is their way of communicating. And when they perceive something as a threat or they want our attention, they bark. And so I was thinking about that with regards to hunger. And this ties right into Soda Swap. I think for me, and I don't think everybody experiences this, but when I drank a lot of diet soft drinks, my hunger was worse. And even now, on the rare occasion that I might have a diet soft drink, I can tell an increase in hunger. And our bodies are going to do what our bodies are going to do. And if you give it food or you give it drinks that make us feel more hungry, or you do things that make us feel more hungry, we can talk about that, then you're going to feel hungrier. And when you're hungry, we're biologically programmed to eat. And then we get mad with ourselves, like, I shouldn't have eaten that, or I ate too much, or maybe if you've tried to fast all day and then you eat, and then once you start eating, you want to eat, and you eat late in the afternoon or late in the day, which is one of the worst times that you can eat maybe then you can't blame yourself. Like, you set yourself up. So just like being angry with the dog, or I've had people, if the dog gets in the trash can and people get aggravated with the dog, and others are like, well, wait a minute, the dog got in the trash can. That's what dogs do. You can't be angry at the dog. You should be angry at yourself for making the trash available to the dog, right? And it's the same kind of thing with hunger. I think that, and I've talked a little bit about this before, we talk a lot about it in Navigator and Compass, but I think you have to understand that if your body is hungry, your body's doing what bodies do. Instead of being like frustrated with yourself, like everybody gets hungry. You're supposed to get hungry, but there are things that you can do to minimize hunger. One is by giving yourself adequate nutrition. And there's an interesting theory. It's called I think it's protein leveraging hypothesis, that when you aren't getting enough protein, that also will increase hunger. And so if you start the day with a high protein breakfast, and I don't mean 20 grams of protein, that ain't high protein. If you're going to start 35, 40 grams of protein within a couple hours of waking, most people tell me they notice a huge difference in satiety. In other words, they don't spend the day being hungry. When you start the day with those 35, 40 plus grams of protein and some fat, that you aren't hungry because you're satisfied, right? Anyway, if you are hungry, instead of being frustrated with yourself and, what's wrong with me, I am a huge, huge proponent of embrace that hunger. Figure it out. Why are you hungry? Have you gotten adequate protein or not? Lack of sleep can make you feel more hungry. The diet soft drinks that we're trying to get rid of for soda swap, that can increase hunger. Eating foods that are high in carbohydrate and fat, that can increase hunger. If I have a good breakfast of, like, let's say I have eggs and Canadian bacon or eggs and ham, eggs and country ham. If I have a good breakfast that gives me ample protein, I am not going to be hungry until 4, 5, 6 plus hours later. If I have a Pop-Tart or if I have a granola bar or something really high in carbs, I'm going to be hungry within 30 to 45 minutes. And again, dogs being dogs, hunger being hunger, I think you have to trust your body. We are too often told to fight against it, right? Deny, don't eat, don't drink. Or just drink water, take a walk, distract yourself. You're not really hungry. And I think that's a mistake because you can only fight that hunger for so long before you end up overeating again, right? I mean, that's how I'd lose 40, 50, 60 pounds just starving myself, doing a calorie restricted diet. And it would always come back. Shankini said that breakfast with protein soon after waking up is life-changing. No desire for anything mid-morning. It is like, I told you so. I told you so. No, it's true. And people will argue with me about it. They're like, I can't eat early in the morning. Okay, then stop eating at night. That was huge for me too. Once I stopped eating, cut it off 3 hours before bedtime. So if your bedtime is 10 o'clock like mine, or 9:30, like Ryan, stop eating 3 hours before. And Shankini said, you were right. You're so sweet. It made a huge difference for Kristie. Will it work for everybody? I don't know. I can just tell you what I've done, what's worked well for me. But yeah, close the kitchen 3 hours before bedtime. You will wake up hungry eventually. It may take a couple days, but you will wake up hungry. And when you wake up hungry, give your body protein. 35, 40 grams plus of protein to start your morning, and keep your fat moderate. You don't need to have bacon and eggs. That's too high fat. Have bacon and Canadian bacon or bacon and country ham, something like that, right? Anyway, it makes a huge difference. But yeah, if there's one thing I'd like for you to hear in this video, one thing, it's don't fight with hunger. Try to understand it. We talk so much about that in Compass the Navigator. In fact, Navigator, that 5-week program is coming up in June. And we talk so much about hunger. Figure out why you're hungry and then figure out how to address it. And if you're hungry because you're eating a lot of carbohydrate, you're trying to have granola bars or oatmeal or cereal or something like that, then your body is like dogs being dogs. Dogs are going to bark. Hunger's going to be there when you're not giving your body adequate nutrition. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I think this is so timely. You guys know I love a metaphor. I love a metaphor or simile. But we have been trying to clear out the house. And we've been doing that because we live in Pinehurst. So the U.S. Open, which is a golf championship, if you're not familiar, but the U.S. Open is going to be played here in Pinehurst. And this is the third or fourth time that we've had the U.S. Open since I've lived in this area. And it's an exciting time. It's wonderful for our community in a lot of ways. But we're still kind of a small town. And so the traffic, you can't really get into the restaurants. It just gets crowded. And we have hotels, but not a ton of them. So it's just a fantastic time for my family to get out of town. So during one of the last U.S. Opens, we rented our house out to a golfer, to a player, one of the guys who was competing in the U.S. Open. And he was here with his family. They were great. It was a wonderful experience. So this year, when the realtor we had rented through to the player reached out to us and said, do you want to rent your house? We're like, yeah, sure. We'll get out of town. We'll head to B. Well, in the meantime, we have decided that, because it's really not such a bad deal to do. Like, we have to clear out a couple of drawers in the dresser and a couple things like that. We've really kind of taken it next level trying to clear stuff out because we've lived here for 12 years. So much stuff. But what's been interesting about it, and I'm going to show you something. I'll take you on a little road trip in just a minute. But what's been interesting about it is that as we kind of clean things out and organize, like I said, we're doing much more than we have to do. But it is one of those things, hey, Patty, it's one of those things that is so easy to get overwhelmed. And I'll give you an example. So this morning I got up, I took a shower, washed my hair, I'm drying my hair, and I'm like, you know what? I've got all these cabinets. I need to clear out a couple and leave a hair dryer and just leave some space for somebody to put like their makeup case or their shaving kit or something like that. So I started cleaning out. So in my bathroom alone, David has his own vanity. I have my own vanity, but there's a tall, like floor to ceiling cabinet on either side of my sink. And so there's 6 shelves in those units. I'm sorry, 6 on each side. There's 12 total. And then I've got 3 drawers to the right of my sink and 3 drawers to the left of my sink, and then the cabinet under the sink. If I this morning had gotten up and was like, oh, I've got to clean all of this out, it wouldn't have happened. It would not have happened. But what I decided this morning, I was like, you know what? I'm going to work on these top 3 shelves to the right. I'm going to clean out these top 3 shelves to the right and get them organized. And so it took me about 15 or 20 minutes. This is when the dogs are barking, that I pulled things out, and I did it one shelf at a time, right? One shelf at a time, I pulled things out, dusted the shelf, because even though it has a door on it, it gets so dusty, dusted the shelf, and then started putting things back and organizing them. And it was so interesting because it took me about 20 minutes, but it looks really nice in there now. And then I went ahead. I didn't have time to clean and reorganize the bottom 3, but I did pull things off of those 2 shelves. So 2 shelves now are completely empty. Threw stuff away. We're throwing away a ton of things, donating a ton of things. If it's something somebody can use, we're donating, and giving away to family and stuff like that. But anyway, my point is, I think of that as a metaphor for a lot of the changes that some of us want to make. I think sometimes we and I've done this. I don't know if you guys have done this, but I pull everything out of the closet, or I pull everything out of the cabinets, and then I just get overwhelmed because it's all around me. I'm surrounded, and it gets overwhelming even how to organize it. But by doing this a little bit at a time, like just a couple drawers, just a couple shelves at a time, I've actually been able to enjoy doing it. How crazy is that? And I think about us, like when we make dietary changes, the same kind of thing happens. So many times people we want to go in their kitchen. They want to clean out all the cabinets. They want to throw everything away. Then they going to go and buy all these ingredients, and it gets expensive, and they get overwhelmed. Like, what do I have for breakfast? What do I have for lunch? What do I have for dinner? And so maybe if you're one of those people who've gotten overwhelmed with changes, maybe just making a couple small changes at a time would not be overwhelming to you. For example, get rid of the diet soft drinks, right? Or get rid of the sugary drinks. Maybe just switch out what you're having for breakfast. It doesn't have to be like get a dumpster and throw everything out at one time. Another thing, so let me show you. You want to see what I'm doing? It really is incredible, like the difference that it's made. And this has been, weeks and weeks. This isn't something we did just in a weekend or just in a day, but let me give you an example of one of the things that I'm doing. So, and this is limited, but in my foyer, see all these books? See the books? So whenever I had, published books, I would order books for live events. And so if I did like a book signing, let's say we did a conference or something, so I'd do a book signing and people would buy books and I'd sign them. Well, I had all of those books. You saw that big stack. I had all of those books in 2020, and then COVID hit. And we stopped doing live events, right? No more live events. So then I had all the books. They have been in our closet. They've been in our walk-in master closet for 4 years. And so David's like, I don't know what to do with these books. I think I'll take them to the basement. And then he's like, Kristie, why don't you just sell them online? So I actually do have links if anybody's interested. I only have 90 of Keto Gatherings, and I put the links up to buy those last night. So if you want to buy those, I'm happy to share the links. I'm selling them cheaper than Amazon. I think on Amazon, Keto Gatherings is $20. Shipping is crazy. Shipping is like $6. So I think I put them on for 17. I paid 15 for them myself. So I'm not making money off this. I'm just trying to clear out. But look at this. I cleaned this out this morning. That's how organized. And then that's dusty. I've got to put stuff back in there, and then I've got to do the bottom shelf. But yeah, it's not so bad when you just do it one shelf or one drawer at a time. And let me show you the space we made in the closet, pulling the books out, and then hopefully we'll get those shipped out soon. Let me put my coffee down so you can see. But yeah, this. So that's completely empty. And my husband, I've got to take that stuff and put it somewhere else. My husband was like, are you going to do those those? And he's like, but it looks messy. You need to do something with that. And then the books were stacked like under here and behind here. You can see Winston. And behind here, the books were stacked there. So we got back a lot of closet space. Oh, and the man who told me that my stuff was messy, that's what his looks like. So yeah, but that's what his looks like. But he's telling me mine's messy. And then that's mine. I don't think I'm any messier than he is, but anyway. But the point is not to show you guys the closet. Is a massive, massive task. But doing a little at a time actually makes it feel doable, and being able to put it back in that organized way feels really good. I left my coffee in the closet. Let me grab my coffee. Anyway, I've also found a $25 Amazon gift card in an old purse. I was cleaning out a purse. I found a $2 bill. And I found an Amazon gift card. But anyway, I've got books. If anybody wants to buy, I think Keto Living Day by Day is $22 on Amazon. You can get it from $17 from me. And then Crazy Busy Keto, I think I've got it listed at $15. And I want to say it's like $20 on Amazon. I don't know. I'm cheaper than Amazon. And we'll get those mailed out. Hopefully we'll get some packaged tonight and get those mailed out. I'd love to get them out by the weekend, clear some space. But anyway, dog's going to be dogs. Winston's going to come and you say hi, Winston. You say hi? No, Winston's not cooperating with me at all. Winston's going to bark. We're going to be hungry, especially if we don't give our bodies the food, the nutrition that it needs. So he's sniffing around. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. I hope that it's Workout Wednesday in the group, in the Facebook group. So I hope that you can spend some time moving today. You don't have to go to the gym and work out, but just take a little walk. Do your calf raises, do your leg raises, grab some weights and do those. It makes such a difference. I'll show you poor little Winnie. He uses the rail on the porch as a chin rest. You can see his snout is through the thing, and he was using it as a chin rest. He's like, why are you bothering me, lady? And they're my hydrangea. You see my hydrangea? They're really growing. Anyway, Bonnie says she's walk is finished and she's headed to the pool for a water workout. Good for you. That's awesome. That's fantastic, Bonnie. Good for you. Good for you. I may see if Jonathan wants to go to the gym with me to do weights today. I don't know. It'd be good for both of them. We're making, 2:00 protein wrap. 2:00 we're making really yummy spinach high protein wrap. I want to say that for 1/4 of the recipe, the wrap is 12 grams of protein, and Yeah, 12 grams of protein, and the carbs are two total carbs, 20 grams of protein, and the fat, I want to say, is like 4 grams or something like that. It's not bad at all. So anyway, if you join me at 2 o'clock with the live cooking session for the cooking community, we're doing protein wraps, and we'll talk about fillings and things like that too. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me this morning. I'll see you tomorrow.